I'd met these girls down there in Houston that I'd gone to school with. And I went back down to Houston to visit for a couple of days and ran into these girls, and they said, well, we're going down to South Padre Island for spring break. And I said, well, hell, I ought to go to South Padre Island with you. I'd moved to Laredo at this time. I was in Laredo and I went back to Houston to visit these girls. And I said, well, I'd love to go down to South Padre Island with you, but, you know, is there any way you could give me a ride to Laredo after that? And they said, well, of course we can give you a ride to Laredo. And I said, okay. So I ended down in Padre Island for a couple of days, and long story short, they finally realized how far away Laredo, Texas was from South Padre Island. And I don't think that their parents' credit cards were going to allow them to give me a ride to Laredo. So I said, just, you know, drop me off at the truck stop, and I'll see if I can find a ride. So they dropped me off there, and I remember hanging out in this truck stop and talking to this waitress, and she said, well, where are you? Are you from Georgia or somewhere with that accent? And I said, no, I'm a long way from Georgia. Not really sure where I'm from at this point. And that kind of went down, and I started thinking about this song and how the hell I was going to get back to Laredo. And about that time, this guy rolled in with a old Ford kind of flatbed truck with a long flatbed trailer, and he had a bunch of concrete on there. And I asked him for a ride, if he was going to Laredo, and said, yeah, I'll give you a ride, but you got to help me unload all this concrete when we get there. And I said, sure, whatever it takes, let's go. And I got in there with him, and his name was Al. And Al had this one real crazy eye that was just rolling on this side, and I remember, I couldn't ever tell if he was looking at me or the road. And he was just so intent on giving me tips about how to hitchhike and be a hobo, like I was trying to make a profession out of it. I was like, man, this is like kind of a one-time deal for me. I'm not kind of in this for the long haul. And he said, yeah, well, you need to make sure you carry a knife on you, for sure. That's the first thing he told me. Right when I get in the truck with him. I'm digging around for a pocket knife. Because I know I had one. And then he goes to tell me how, you know, when you're cold at night and you're in the truck stop, that, you know, wait till those trucks roll in off the road and you can go sleep by the tires because they're hot. And you can stay warm. I said, I think I'll go inside and have a cup of coffee. Stay warm that way, Al. Thanks for the tips. Oh, shit, anyway. This song is called Long Way from Georgia. Well, sitting in a truck stop with my cowboy boots and my guitar, and I'm a-living on a tip box. Well, it was made for cigars, a long way from Georgia. A long way from Georgia. Oh, I'm out on the highway, yeah. Well, I have no regrets, 'cause I've been living my way. On coffee and cigarettes, a long way from Georgia. A long way from Georgia. Oh, and it's a highway that rolls on, and I just riding on. Lie just to keep on hanging on. 'Cause this is all I have ever known. Was sitting in a truck stop, then a waitress tells me, she says, boy, you got a good smile. It might take you a long way. She said, boy, you better make it count, 'cause you're a long way from Georgia.